Beyond the Junkyard.
Myself to Jim Crockett Promotions this weekend. I think I got a taste of the same medicine Jim Crockett Promotions took, but I have a lot more fucking money than Jim Crockett did, and I'm serious, I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of the Beyond the Yard podcast. I am your host, Junkyard James, and we are here today with another episode, and I am excited to be here. As you can see, I am here alone today. So if you wouldn't mind, give a thought out to the co-host usually on this show, K-Dog. He is a little bit under the weather today. But go ahead and give your thoughts out to him. As always, this show is affiliated and partnering with WWEshop.com. As we get closer into WrestleMania season 2025, be sure to stock up on your WWE merchandise using the link in the description below. Same with your StubHub tickets. Sporting events are back in session. Wrestling events get announced all the time. If you want to go to any live entertainment event, make sure to check it out in the link in the description for StubHub. And finally, please make sure to go to w.gg, use the code Beyond the Yard at checkout, get 10% off your order. W Energy, trying to take down the big energy companies. Join us and join them and support the podcast. Tonight's show, we are going to talk about our new AEW Tag Team Champions Private Party. What do I think about that tag team? Where do I think they lead as champs? Should they even have the championship? We're going to go a little bit more into Jon Moxley and the Death Riders and where this story seems to be leading. We'll talk a little bit about the Hurt Syndicate. And then if you're in the chat, we will talk and answer some questions in the chat as well as they pop up. Be sure to join the conversation in the chat. Go to junkyardmediagroup.com. Join the Discord. Like all of our social medias. All the links are there at junkyardmediagroup.com. So let's get going. Private Party is your new tag team champions, and they have been for about a week now. And the big thing is leading into Full Gear is who is going to fight them. Well, there's going to be a 4-team match at Full Gear, and the people that get into the matches are decided by winners of the tag team 4-way tournament thing that they're running. And so we'll see a match Saturday on Collision. We'll see a match next Wednesday on Dynamite, and a match next Saturday on that episode of Collision, to determine the 3 other teams to fight Private Party for the tag team championships. And I think it's about damn time that Private Party holds the tag team belts. Everyone said when word got out that the Lucha Bros were probably going to WWE, that who's going to take the reins. The Young Bucks and FTR are already there, but who's going to take that spot that the Lucha Bros had? And I named a few tag teams, and Private Party was number 1 on my list of tag teams that I think could fill the gap right now and they're over, and they took the tag team belts, and it's about time that they hold the belts. I think they've really done great with the opportunities that they've had. You got to think for a greater part of 2 or so years now, Mark Quinn was in and out of injuries. They were kind of shoved with Matt and Jeff Hardy for a while, and now that they're kind of by their lonesome, doing their own thing, they've just been really entertaining and one of the best babyface tag teams in AEW. So I think it really, really is the time for AEW to put the belts on Private Party, and they've become one of my favorite tag teams to watch. Now, in regards to this Full Gear match that we're getting, the 4-man tag team match. Now, I love tag team wrestling more than anybody in the world, but this is a bit unnecessary. I just got to be freaking honest with you. I don't like this match. Now, and I get it. They win the tag team belts on a Dynamite, and then the Young Bucks just kind of disappear. So it looks like they're not getting their rematch, which would be the thing, like the smart match to run at Full Gear. And so now, who's the next to challenge them? And I don't like the idea of having just all of the top tag teams in one match, because other team, like eight-man tag team matches, it always seems that the story kind of gets overshadowed by just how many men have to try and get their spot, and it lessens the effect of the match. Like I would rather have, like, we could do this tournament type thing, and then the 3 winners of that match, of those matches, meet and have a 6-man tag, a 3-team tag on the go home Dynamite before Full Gear. To determine the number 1 contender for the belts. I would have preferred that, and we had a 1-on-1 tag team match for the belts over what we're going to get, which is a 8-man, 4-team tag team match for the belts, where one team who probably doesn't deserve it's going to take the pin, and then 2 other teams just kind of they don't really get over, or they don't get buried. They're just kind of there for filler, I guess. And I'm not a big fan of this match, to be completely honest, or where this is going. I would rather have a singular tag team fight Private Party at Full Gear. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. One, what's your overall thoughts on Private Party holding tag team gold? And are you a fan of this 4-way match? Are you a fan of what's going on in the AEW tag team division? All right. And now let's talk about Jon Moxley. I'm gonna roll right through some of this stuff. If I have time, I might run a segment that I was deliberating over at the end here. But anyways, let's talk about Jon Moxley. Let's talk about the Death Riders for a moment. And I think it was a week or so ago, was it Bully Ray announced on his radio show, like, a way for Jon Moxley to have like a domestic violence angle with Marina Shafir, I think is what it was, where like she's afraid of Mox because like she won't step up to Mox because he it's insinuated that he like beats her or something like that. And I'm like, so you're okay going with domestic violence, but a plastic bag choking Bryan Danielson out it crossed the line. Some of these oldies, just I don't get it. But overall, like, where does this Moxley story go? Like, that's the intrigue factor about it. Like they're fighting Orange Cassidy, But they're saying, like, if you step in our way, we're going to take you out. And you saw the Young Bucks left last week, and Brandon Cutler got took out. And they're not afraid of authority figures. They're just kind of there. And so that's just kind of the intrigue is I don't know where the story goes, and I don't think we need to know where the story goes. It's just a unhinged Jon Moxley and his group of Death Riders that he just sends to lay haste on the AEW locker room. And this match with Orange Cassidy is going to be built as the ultimate babyface. This is going to probably be a 3-match, just fantastic, several months of storytelling where Moxley is like let's just be honest. Moxley's probably going to win at Full Gear. I don't think they run this story just to have Moxley drop the belt in his first title defense. This is going to be I guess the equivalent, if you were to say, the equivalent of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, except it's not going to take 4 years for the heel to drop the belt. It's going to be condensed. It's going to be good storytelling, but it's not going to take that long. And the ultimate ending, I think, is Orange Cassidy eventually taking the title from Moxley and becoming the biggest babyface in AEW history. And I'm excited for it. Like I'm excited for Full Gear. And I don't know. Like, what do you think about Moxley? Like, can he be the face of the stable? You know, when he was in the Shield in WWE, he was kind of in the background. He was kind of that enforcer. He wasn't the head of the stable. I think he's done a good job being the head of the stable with the Death Riders. And like, I don't know. I've seen it go both ways, that there are people that think that this Death Rider stable makes no sense and they're not fans. I ultimately think it's going to take its time for it to build to the crescendo that everybody is expecting it to go to. But the goal here is not to make Moxley a bigger star. Like, people are seeing the story, I think, backwards. The picture here is to build the next super babyface, and that's Orange Cassidy. And it's not going to be at Full Gear, I don't think. It probably won't be at World's End. But Revolution or Double or Nothing or one of the next early pay-per-views in 2025, when we get to the crescendo of this Orange Cassidy storyline with Moxley and them, I think that's where we see Orange Cassidy become the biggest babyface in AEW. And so the story's not about building Moxley. It's not about building Claudio Castagnoli. It's not about really building Wheeler Yuta. It's about building Orange Cassidy. And so I love it. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Moxley? What do you think about this storyline? Where do you think it goes? Hold on one second. Wavy D is in the chat saying that it's a lag. And it wouldn't surprise me if there is. I have no idea. Let me know if it continues, Wavy D. And, I don't know. It's showing perfect internet for me, so I'm not sure. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Where was I? Oh, yes, Moxley. Kind of ending my rant there. Wavy D, you jumped in late. If you got any questions or any wrestling related stuff you want, me to talk about Shoot Away. Don't really have a whole lot planned to talk about. So if you got anything you want me to talk about, just let me know, and I will answer any questions you may have. But I do want to talk about one more main topic, and that's another heel stable in AEW, and that is the Hurt Syndicate. And we have Wavy D asks, hold on, we'll get back to Hurt Syndicate in a minute. He says, you catch any NXT ECW stuff? I caught a little bit. I didn't watch it live. I watched AEW last night, which, if you want me to be honest, last night's AEW Dynamite was like the pure definition of mid. It wasn't bad. Like an advanced storyline, but it wasn't great. Like it was just there. And this kind of gets to one of the things that, like, it was mid to me about was this ending of this Adam Cole and Malachi Black match, where I don't know if everybody caught it, but no, I'm not a fan of the ending of Adam Cole and Black. Black just kind of dropped to the mat, allowed Adam Cole to hit the boom and pick up the win, and then hugged Adam Cole and left. And there is speculation that Malachi Black is leaving AEW, and I don't know if it's true or if it's not, and I don't really care about the rumor and innuendo, but the ending is just weird. And it was so not an AEW ending. And so maybe that's what they were going for, is like that shock factor. But I don't think it worked. If anything, it just gave the people that don't like AEW something to laugh about and to make fun of AEW again. Not a fan of the ending. And to be honest, I am not a fan of Adam Cole and Roddy Strong's and MJF's, like, whatever the hell's going on here. Like, this should have ended at World's End. I get Adam Cole was hurt for so long, and they're trying to put they're trying to tie together storylines and kind of finish this MJF Adam Cole saga that we got with an Adam Cole revealed himself to be the devil. But it's just, I don't like the way that they're telling the story. MJF now has paid Don Callis to basically make sure that Adam Cole doesn't beat in Adam Cole's match. And yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the ending of Adam Cole and Black. But yeah, it was just weird. I didn't like it. The match wasn't great to begin with, and so you add a stinker of a finish. Man, I'm not a big supporter of that match. Back to the NXT stuff. I saw some highlights. I saw like the Dudleys make their debut. I saw RVD showed up. I saw the ending where Rhino gored Robert Stone. And I think it was cool for the shock factor and to have all the ECW people show back up. But I don't really want to comment too much on the actual storytelling because, one, I haven't watched NXT in quite a while. But two, I'm not a big, I didn't watch the show, so I can't really comment on it. That's kind of my rule. If I don't watch it, I'm not going to critique it. I did see some of the highlights, and I think for the nostalgia factor, it's pretty cool to have some of those people from my childhood show back up. Though, Bubba Ray once said that him and Devon would never be seen in a ring together again. And he was he was found to be a liar. I guess in some way, shape, or form. Devon didn't do anything. He just brought a table out. I don't think he's cleared to wrestle, to be honest, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, let's get back to the Hurt Syndicate real quick. I like this stable. I'm excited to see what this could have been if WWE allowed this stable to be in front of a live crowd. Now, MVP, he's really good on the mic. I don't know if there seems to be time where he just kind of rambles in some of his promos. And I don't know if that's just like he's not used to not having to stick to a specific script or whatnot. But overall, I like Shelton Benjamin's been built really well. The segment last night was Swerve and Lashley, where Swerve came out and all he said was Bobby Lashley full gear. And then they said, yeah, we'll see you there, big dog. Like, I think they could have built it to be something bigger, like had them wrestle or something. It just was kind of basic of like, okay, I want to meet you at Full Gear. And they agreed kind of thing. But that match is going to be really good at Full Gear. They meet Ricochet in the back. And Ricochet has kind of denied joining the Hurt Syndicate. I don't think Ricochet will end up there. But there was a return last night of Will Hobbs. And I think he turns on Ricochet and at some point, and Will Hobbs will join the Hurt Syndicate. And they'll just have just big old meaty men on this team just beating the shit out of everyone. That's where Moxley and Claudio are kind of your more, I don't give a shit about authority, I'm just going to do whatever I want kind of stable. You're going to have the Hurt Syndicate be just the big meaty men just beating the hell out of everyone. But within the rule book. Like they're going to be like the dirty heels that'll cheat, but I don't think it's two different type of heel stables there. And it's interesting to me that AEW is really has really built their heels really well. Where I think they failed is building a group of baby faces that are believable to beat the heels that they have. Like obviously Orange Cassidy's going up against Moxley for the world title, and Orange Cassidy's Orange Cassidy, but you don't really have anyone that's believable. You don't have anyone that's believable to beat Takeshita at this point for the international belt. You don't have anyone really to. I think the Okada thing comes to fruition when Omega comes back, and it'll be Okada and Omega is where I see that. Kyle Fletcher was built to be basically unbeatable with the Don Callis family. And then the only Mariah May is a heel. You don't really have a babyface woman that is believable at this point. And maybe it's Mina Shirakawa. Maybe that's where they're going to continue that. Maybe Toni Storm comes back as a babyface. Maybe it's Britt Baker. But like outside of them, like Anna Jay had her opportunity and now that's gone. Is it Willow? Like she's kind of in the middle of something where with I think she just got out of that storyline, didn't she? With I can't remember where Willow was, but she's just kind of. I don't know if it's believable that she could beat Mariah May. Or like Mariah May's been built really strong, and you're not just going to have her lose the title in a match that doesn't make sense. And I don't know if they've built anyone to be at that level to take the belt off of Mariah May. So where AEW has done a really good job at building really good heels, they've struggled recently at building baby faces that are more than just like crowd favorites, like the Outrunners. Like, I love the Outrunners. I would love to see them win the AEW tag team belts. But how long can they sustain? Like, it's just kind of a flash in the pan team. Like, they're a comedy team, and that's why people love them. And like they're mimicking the 80s style of wrestling. But do you have a tag team like we're going to see with Private Party? Like, Private Party is a fan favorite, but can they run that AEW tag team division? I think they can, but it's up for them to prove it. Meanwhile, you have just heel after heel after heel after heel. We'll see. Like, we're seeing the Acclaimed. There's the beginning of their breakup. Let's see what Wavy D has to say here in the chat. AEW has a lot of stars that I would love to see on Netflix. Well, the only one you're probably going to get is Ricky Starks, so I hope you enjoy him, at least in the short time coming here. Maybe the Lucha Bros after a couple months. I don't know when Tony Khan will let them out of their contract there. Yeah, AEW, they do have a lot of star talent. Just not a lot of space to put the people that have the talent. And that's why last week WWE released a couple wrestlers, Baron Corbin, Tegan Knox, and Indy Hartwell, and all AEW fans on social media were begging Tony Khan not to sign any of them. Though I would like to see Indy Hartwell in AEW, just because I am a big fan of Indy Hartwell. I don't think she got a fair shake in WWE. She's pretty freaking talented if she actually had an opportunity. Wavy D says, now that I know what WWE ID is, I understand more why you don't like it. At first, I was confused because I thought it was WWE India. I didn't know the indie scene in India was so big. Yeah, so we'll talk about that real quick. And then I want to give you five of my favorite women in AEW, and basically trying to implement like a power ranking, and this will be fun. I'm gonna name 5 females in AEW, and I'm gonna let myself and then y'all in the comments rank those women 1 to 5 based on whatever criteria you want. My criteria is going to be a mixture of looks and talent. If you just want to rank the top 5 hottest women in AEW based off the list I give you, then do that. If you want to do the top 5 best wrestlers of the women, I'm going to do a little bit there. Wavy D says number 1, Nyla Rose. Neither looks nor talent there, Wavy D. But yeah, WWE ID. On paper, it's a really good concept. We're going to help sponsor, basically partner with and sponsor incoming independent talent. And they've actually signed a few of them today that, like Zeta Steel, who's a really good up and coming indie wrestler. The reason I'm not a big fan of it is because there has to be more than we're just giving you money, or we're giving you screen time on WWE, YouTube, or we're going to promote you. Like there has to be more behind it. Like and you look at what WWE did with UK, and I talked about this in my last episode of the podcast. Look at what they did with NXT UK, and they just basically hoarded all the independent talent in the United Kingdom and just left them there. And then COVID hit, and NXT UK basically shut down, but all these wrestlers were still under their WWE contracts. Like that's my fear, is that you're going to bring these people in, and then they maximize the most of their talent in this program, and then but will AEW have an ability to sign these designated WWE ID wrestlers, or are they exclusive to WWE while they're part of the program? That's my biggest fear. Will TNA be able to sign them? Will the other indie wrestling companies be able to use them while they're in this program, or are they WWE exclusive, meaning WWE determines what promotions they can go to? And that's my biggest fear, is they're going to hoard the talent of independent wrestlers, and it ultimately, I think, will hurt the independent wrestling scene. But let's have a little bit of fun. I have a list here of, I said 5. Let me add a few more. We'll do the top 10 AEW wrestlers. Here we go. I'm just going to go down the list. Number 1 on my list is Britt Baker. I think Britt Baker could be, if she can just get healthy again, I think she carries the division. She is somewhat entertaining, somewhat somewhat good in the ring, but she's not super indie, where not everybody, only the indie fans or the hardcore fans know her. There's WWE fans that know who Britt Baker is. And so she's kind of that in between. She's just kind of either had a lot of backstage heat or been injured here recently, so I don't know when she's going to be used again. Number 2 on my list is Mariah May. She's got everything, she's got everything Shawn Michaels is looking for in a wrestler. She's good looking, can cut a pretty good promo, and pretty damn good in the ring, and she's blonde, and apparently that's all WWE looks for, is good looking and blonde. With that, number 3 is Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm had the best run of any woman of any brand over the past year, and you see she seemingly has disappeared in America. And that's simply because she's been in Japan for the past several months since she lost the belt, and no one's really seen her. But I really think Toni Storm is coming back soon, especially with Mina Shirakawa on her way. Next week, she makes her return to AEW, which I don't know if anybody saw it. But Mina Shirakawa is getting the Wyatt family, Wyatt 6 treatment with her vignettes with the QR codes in the corner, leading to videos and YouTube stuff. So yeah, that's Mina Shirakawa's coming back, but Toni Storm's here again. blonde, and Wavy D says 7 of the top 10 baddies on NXT are non-blonde. Look, I'll give y'all Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice, but maybe Jada Parker and Roxanne. So, okay, that's 4. So, I guess I'll agree with you on that one. I'll agree with you there. Maybe Sean is diversifying his portfolio. Anyways, back on this list. Number 4, I am going to give it to Willow Nightingale. She is really good in the ring, but she's a sneaky like 7 or 8 on the baddie scale. So I'm gonna give it to Willow Nightingale. I'll support her. I think she is eventually the future of AEW's women's division. We love Willow Nightingale over here. Now I don't know about my co-host. He's sick today though. So for today at least, the Beyond the Junkyard podcast endorses Willow Nightingale in the top 5 of this list. I'll then go someone we haven't seen in quite a while. I don't know if she's still hurt. I think she is. Sky, I think she's still recovering from ankle or knee injury that she suffered a while back. She has the looks. I mean, that's really all she brings, but she is an up and coming prodigy of AEW. She's kind of like Willow, kind of like Anna Jay, kind of like Tay Mello, like willing to do things women typically don't do in wrestling, which is like the hardcore matches. She loves it, and just mostly for her looks, but she's a pretty decent wrestler. Sky Blue will be number 5. Now, the rest of these I'm not going to really rank, but let's list some other 5 more wrestlers, women's wrestlers in AEW, and the women's division that I think could fight for the top 5 here. We got Anna Jay. I think she's really improved since Japan. She's really improved for wrestling. She still has a long ways to go to be like solid in the ring. I'm really not sold on her mic skills yet. She's hot as hell, and she can still run with that, but she's getting there. I like Anna Jay. I think she has a big future in AEW, possibly winning the AEW women's title here soon, maybe a TBS title. Everyone's favorite person to hate, Mercedes Moné. I don't know. I just like Mercedes Moné. I've always liked her, even when she was in WWE. People said that she can't wrestle or she can't cut a promo. I think she's done pretty good. Camille is good. She's a powerhouse. Like, she's not like a good looking wrestler, but she has the wrestling ability that'll satisfy. And someone returned after 2 years away last night on AEW Dynamite that I just got to throw in there because I forgot just how gorgeous she actually was, and she actually looked pretty good in her return to the ring, and that is the good old Penelope Ford. Now, my co-host, K-Dog, likes to make fun of her because her forehead's the size of the state of Florida. But you look past that, and there's something there. There's with Penelope Ford. But what do y'all think? Did I miss anybody on this list? I'm sure I did. There's like 1,000 AEW female wrestlers. I'm sure I missed a couple there. But yeah, we're the way BD's just throwing. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That deserves a little bit of screen time. He says number 7, and I'll let y'all read it because I ain't gonna get kicked off of YouTube today. Oh, that's good. Well, that's about all I have for y'all. So I'm gonna let this run for just another minute and see if there's anything else that Wavy D has to say and wants me to talk about. And if not, I'm going to bid y'all adieu. Hopefully next time we come here, we'll have a co-host and we can actually have a decent conversation. The Wyatt family just hacking my camera. Anyways, I don't... He said, I'll see you at the Hear Me Out tonight. Absolutely. You will see me at the Hear Me Out. I'm gonna get over there once it gets going. I forgot to turn my submissions into that man over there, but yeah, I'm gonna see what we got. And so because of that, I'm gonna end this. And so y'all, we will talk to you next time here on the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Join the Discord, all of that. You can find everything at junkyardmediagroup.com. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all next time here on the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. Girl with an ass like Anna J. Anna J. Anna J.